breathing, still showing up, still smiling in the lobby like everything was fine. But something essential had already stopped. Not a dramatic collapse. It was like a quiet flat line. The kind where you could still quote the right verses and lead the right meaning while your soul just sits in the corner like a corpse no one noticed. That was you under the ruler of the kingdom of the air as we get into Ephesians. Not some cartoon devil with pitchfork. Just the everyday script the world just hands out to you. Perform for approval. Hustle for significance. Say yes until your body files for divorce from your spirit. The cravings owned you. The need to be the reliable one. The fear of being ordinary. The low-grade rage where other people didn't carry their weight. You called it ministry. You called it faithfulness. You called it just how it is. And the boredom, it didn't even feel like boredom anymore. It felt like maturity. The brokenness got renamed realistic expectations. The burnout got baptized as sacrifice. And you were a walking corpse in a hoodie that said Team Jesus. And you thought the hood was the hiding place for your decay. Then the ground cracked. Not a gentle spiritual growth moment, a violent mercy. While you were still dead in your transgressions and sins, while the cravings were still writing your calendar, and the old ruler still thought he had the deed, God, rich in all of his mercy, don't forget his great love, made you alive with Christ. There was no conditions, no clean yourself up first, no spiritual frequent flyer miles that you had to earn. Grace doesn't do participation trophies. It does resurrections. You didn't climb out of the grave. Just you were raised with Christ. It's nothing that you could have done on your own. There's a heartbeat that didn't ask for permission. The old script went silent mid-sentence. The cravings didn't vanish. They were just lost their throne. You could still feel them, but they no longer got to vote on who you are. Then the seated with him in the heavenly realms, not visiting on a day pass, seated. The same position of authority and finished work Jesus occupies. Yeah, you now share by union with him. From up there, the old tyrants look small. The performance treadmill that you used to, call obedience looks like a hamster wheel someone abandoned in a graveyard. You are not trying to get to a better seat. You already have it. That changes everything about the good works. They're not the ladder to, a better life. They're the path your new feet were made to walk. You are God's workmanship, his poem, his masterpiece, created in Christ Jesus to do good works he prepared in advance for you, not to prove you belong, because you already do. So now you move differently. You pursue Jesus because you want to, because you love him, because of what he's done for you. You proclaim because the story of your own raising burns too hot to keep quiet. You provide because generosity is what happens when you realize you were given everything while you were still a corpse. You party because joy is no longer a performance. It's the default setting of a heart that has been brought back from the dead. So, we want to actively listen because our ears work again. We encourage speaking because we know what silence from shame actually feels like. So monitor workload and give rest because you tasted the difference between striving from death and serving from a seated position. You discovered passion because the things that used to feel just buried are waking up. You allow engagement because you're no longer threatened by other people's aliveness. You were raised to make room and to be alive as well. Healing, rest, and purpose aren't cute slogans. They're the natural overflow of someone who was dead and is now alive. Raised, seated. The same power that ripped Jesus out of the tomb is the power humming in your chest right now.